Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this week's session of the Cat at Home series. My name's Tim Passoni, and I'm part of the Cat Reman marketing team. You may very well also recognize me from my starring role in a Luke Combs music video. I was in that for about 3 seconds, and that got him somewhere around 10 million views so far. So we're just looking forward to see how many views we can get with a full 20 minutes of me today. But no, in all seriousness, I want to thank you all for taking some time this afternoon to spend with me and talk about Cat Reman. I think these Cat at Home series, it's a pretty cool way for us to still try to be able to connect a little bit while we're all pretty contained to our houses or our general locations. So a little bit of background on me. I've been with Cat for almost 20 years now and have spent the last 5 providing Cat Reman support to dealers and customers across pretty much all of the United States and Canada. So what I'm going to try to do today is I try to think of what are the types of questions that I hear the most frequently from customers and build a slide deck to focus on those. I think that might make this go a little bit smoother. It does somewhat kind of feel like I'm having a full-blown conversation with myself. So on the screen here, we will have a chat functionality out there. So assuming that I'm not gonna, I didn't think ahead and cover every question that you might have or every topic that you want to discuss. If you think of something that you want to know an answer to, go ahead and plug it into that chat functionality. We'll keep an eye out for those. If you're one of the people that is not watching this live and you're watching it on replay, still feel free to go ahead and put your questions out there for us. We'll keep an eye on those down the road and make sure that we go back in and get answers for you all as well. So like I said, I've got about 20, 30 minutes, something like that this afternoon. So I'll have to go fairly quickly, realizing that when we're done, I will go ahead and I've got a handful of links that I'll also add out into the chat function. So you can go out and watch some additional videos on Cat Reman, see the insides of some of our facilities, and some websites that you can go to pick up some additional information if you have further questions. So I guess with that being said, let's go ahead and get this show on the road and we'll hop right into question number 1. So a lot of times, when we start talking about Cat Reman, the question to come up with, hey, Tim, what exactly is remanufacturing? It's a term that I hear quite a bit. It's a term that I hear thrown around in different ways, but what's it really mean? So if we start right in with like a general definition, remanufacturing, what it is, it's the process of returning an end of life or broken or blemished product back to same as new condition in a manufacturing environment. And if you're anything like me and set aside a couple minutes every Wednesday afternoon to learn a new definition, you're like, wait, hey, thanks, Tim, that's a fun fact. But beyond that, I mean, the real question is, how is remanufacturing made possible at Caterpillar? How does Cat Reman actually take a broken or blemished product and turn it back into same as new condition? So on the screen here, you'll see a series of things that make it critical for Cat to be able to be successful in remanufacturing. And the first and probably one of the 2 most important is that here at Caterpillar, we have the knowledge of that original product design and the performance specifications. We know how that product was originally engineered, and we know what it was intended to do. So we have the ability to remanufacture back up to that original design spec, performance specs. And then we also have the ability to look backwards into the product. We have the history of the product. We know how it performed in the field, and we have the ability to apply all of the critical engineering updates that are necessary to take that old product and bring it up to the most current version, so that you can be comfortable that you're always getting a product that is the latest and greatest that's out in the marketplace today. At Cat Reman, we utilize state-of-the-art salvage techniques, strict reuse and salvage guidelines. We have a lot of advanced manufacturing systems, an unparalleled focus on quality control. And as I said, of the two probably most important things there, if you look at a Cat engine or a Cat component, when they're originally built, they're built to be remanufactured for a second life. Okay, and I'll talk about these things quite a bit more and get you some more detail as we move forward. Now, typically in the conversation, this is where I'm going to get my first timeout called. Okay, and the real questions start coming in. So at that point, that's where I'm usually going to hear, okay, so Tim, what you're basically telling me is that remanufacturing is just a fancy term for rebuilding that's going to allow you to put some sort of spin on something and charge me more money for it. Okay, so is that what I'm saying? No, absolutely not. That is not at all what I'm trying to say. So when you think of remanufacturing, it's important to remember that remanufacturing, it's more than just rebuilding or reconditioning an existing part. Okay, now Cat Reman, it's an exchange business. It's not a repair and return. Okay, so with an exchange business, as many of you know, you're going to buy a remanufactured part and you're going to turn a core back into us. Okay, when you look at repair and return, that's going to be you're taking your existing engine or other component, and you're going to take it to be either rebuilt or repaired, and then you're going to take back that same core product that you had before. Okay, and then as we'll get into in the next couple of slides, during the remanufacturing process, it's important to realize that that component or core that you turned in, it's going to lose its original identity. And I'll explain to you here now what I mean by that. So when you look at how does remanufacturing actually work, we're going to take a look at this infinity symbol. It's a good, I think, visual representation of how this process works. And if you look on the left-hand side, if you can see this mouse floating around, that's the product life cycle. This is your piece of the equation as the customer. If you look at the right-hand side, that's going to be the remanufacturing life cycle, and that's our portion of the equation here at Cat Reman. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see this, but on the chart, you're going to see a series of numbers from 1 through 11. And then over on the right-hand side here, you're going to see a corresponding definition of what each of those numbers represent. So we're going to start walking through this here at 1. So in the lower left center of the diagram. And this is where the product life cycle really begins. So this is when you've either purchased the machine or you've purchased a new replacement component, you've installed it, and you've put it to work. Okay, so as you've done that, the product's going to be running, it's going to perform, it's going to start putting on hours. At that point, you're getting up here to this number 3. You're going to do regular maintenance on the product as it operates. The product's going to begin to mature, put on more and more hours, and eventually here at number 5 is going to come the point in time where you're going to need to ultimately replace that product. Okay, so for the sake of this discussion, we're going to say it's time to replace the product. You buy a Cat Reman. Okay, so at that point, you're going to buy the Reman product, and you're going to turn your worn out core back into your Cat dealer, who will send it back to us at Cat Reman. Okay, and this is really where the magic really of remanufacturing begins. So when we receive that core back here at Reman, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to disassemble that component down to its individual elements. And I'm talking, we're going all the way down to each individual nut and bolt. We're going to take that thing completely apart, and it's going to lose any semblance of the original identity that it had when it came back to us. Okay, so now we're going to keep working through the process, and then each one of those individual pieces or elements, it's going to go through a thorough cleaning process, okay, and then rigorous inspection utilizing Caterpillar remanufactured criteria, okay. At that point, the product is going to be inspected, and it's going to go over to salvage. Okay, and at Cat Reman, as I said, we use a lot of advanced salvage techniques, many of which were actually created by Cat Reman, and we're going to start putting those salvage techniques to our technologies into place to start building that component back up, or each of those pieces back up to same as new condition, with all the same as new specifications, and both from dimensional and performance specs in place. Now, as you go through the inspection, the cleaning, the salvage, obviously not every piece or every component that we get back is going to qualify to keep moving on down the process. Okay, so any of the products as we get into our pieces, as we get through the salvage process, that don't pass testing and they don't make it back to that same as new performance specifications, we're going to remove those from the remanufacturing process, and we're going to send those over to be recycled. Okay, now as we keep moving back up, now we have a combination of remanufactured salvage pieces, and also we have new piece parts as well. So that combination of the reman pieces and the new pieces are going to be assembled together into a new reman product. Okay, then that product, it's going to be thoroughly tested again to make sure that it meets all of the same as new performance standards and specifications. Once the product passes all of that testing and inspection, so that we can be confident that you're going to get a high quality product back, we're going to paint it. If it's a serial numberized component, we'll assign a new serial number to it, and then that new reman component will be placed as available to sell to you as a customer, backed by a same as new 1 year Cat parts warranty. Okay, so right now, since I'm not able to present to you from one of our factories, I'm gonna take a couple minutes and show you a quick video that will take you inside one of our facilities, so that you can get a better look firsthand of what the remanufacturing process looks like at Cat Reman.
Cat customers now more than ever need value. They want to efficiently operate their equipment at the lowest possible cost. It's one of the reasons why 3 out of 4 customers choose Cat Reman. They know they're getting the highest quality Cat component at the lowest possible cost. And in some cases, Reman doesn't just meet new expectations, it exceeds them. Here's why. Whether it's a turbocharger, an ECM, or an entire engine, the old component is disassembled, cleaned, and inspected, but that's just the beginning.
Product performance is at least equal to, and in most cases better than new, because again, we're able to look backward into that design and enhance things that may not have been addressed when it was originally designed.
40 years of remanufacturing experience and state-of-the-art technology transform a used component into a Cat Reman component. It's not just repairing and rebuilding, it's rethinking. It's re-engineering. It's Cat Reman. Our global team of design and manufacturing engineers employs a rigorous product development and process improvement methodology, working closely with the teams that designed the new part.
We collaborate very closely. We have the specifications, we have the end-of-line procedures, we actually have the automated equipment that very much duplicates the new manufacturing operations in the factory floor.
So for a Reman injector, that might mean adding a coating to repair wear and precisely measuring and testing the product to make sure it meets quality requirements. For an ECM, it includes predictive diagnostics, leading to the replacement of critical components and updating the software, which results in even better performance for the customer. You'll get back a good-as-new Cat Reman component, costing significantly less than a new one, with a same-as-new Cat warranty, and the support of Cat Reman's global operations and the Cat dealer network. Cat Reman is continuously looking for new ways to save you money and enhance performance, while reducing waste, lowering greenhouse gas emissions, and minimizing the need for raw materials to produce new parts. Rethinking, re-engineering. Cat Reman. As good as new, as strong as ever.
Okay, so like I said, hopefully that video gave you a little glimpse inside of Cat Reman. And like I said, I'll post several more of our facility videos in the chat when we're done, if you want to go in and take a look at some of the other facilities we have. So one of the big points that I wanted to highlight from that video, it talked about the positive impact that Cat Reman has on sustainable development and, you know, our environment by keeping renewable resources in circulation for multiple lives. I've always thought it was pretty cool if you want to put a number on that, to kind of take a look at just how big are we really talking. Over the past 10 years, Cat Reman has returned more than 500,000 tons of end-of-life materials back into productive use. So, you know, it's something we take very seriously here at Cat and Cat Reman, you know, the positive impact that we can have on the environment. Okay, so into that, what types of products does Cat Reman offer? So Cat Reman is going to offer anything from piece parts and components that are intended to support your rebuilds or overhauls, or as you go to the right, we also offer complete groups that you can utilize as drop-in ready replacements. So depending on what type of repair you're looking for, odds are we have a Cat Reman product offering out there to help you out with that. Now, from this diagram, you can see this is obviously an engine example. So you've got cylinder packs and cranks and heads down in the bottom left up to the complete engine on the right. But it's important to realize Reman, or Cat Reman, we offer more than just engine components. Cat Reman also has piece parts all the way up to group solutions for drivetrain products, hydraulic products, electronics, and then a little bit of undercarriage in there as well. So let's see if I move here. Where does Caterpillar remanufacture? Okay, so as you heard in the video, there's a global facilities located around the world. So Cat Reman started in I believe 1972 in Corinth, Mississippi, and that really still serves as our flagship, as I'll call it, remanufacturing facility that we have. So Corinth also is going to have pretty much all of the core receiving. So when you turn your cores back in, their first places they're going to go is to Corinth, and they'll be redistributed out to other facilities for remanufacture. And then in Corinth, they're also going to remanufacture a lot of engines and engine components through there. So in addition to that, ultimately we have 8 Cat locations around the world, employing just over 3,600 people right now, and that supports just north of 7,000 active Reman part numbers, and it seems like that the number of parts continues to grow on a daily basis. So with this chart here, I've tried to color code it. So Mossville, this one here in red, Mossville, Illinois, that's where I'm calling in from today. So that is our, call it administrative and engineering headquarters. Like today, it's basically a ghost town out here, but normally this is where you're going to find most of the service engineers, the technical helpline, a lot of the design engineers, and the administrative and leadership teams will be out here. I talked to you already about Corinth. We also have other facilities down in the Corinth area of Prentice, also making engine components. We have a facility in Franklin, Indiana. Primarily what you're going to see out of that is C4.4 to C7.1 size engine long blocks, some turbos, air compressors. Up in Fargo, North Dakota, you're going to get mainly your drivetrain components and hydraulics coming from there. And then our facility in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico, which was one that was highlighted quite a bit in the video I showed. You'll get fuel injectors, turbos, electronics, diesel particulate filters, and other products will come out of those. Okay, so the 4 facilities that are highlighted in yellow as a U.S. or North American based customer, your products, your Cat Reman products will come from those facilities. Okay. There's the other 3 facilities here highlighted in black. So we have a facility in Brazil, Indonesia, and China. Those facilities are in place to support the needs of the local market there, but you won't be getting products as a North American customer from those facilities. Okay, so I'm going to take a timeout right now, and I'm going to take a look at some of the questions. There's one from Bailey out there. There it is on the screen. So, and this is a good question. This is one we get quite a bit. So, if I followed all Cat's recommended maintenance practices, why would I buy Cat Reman parts when I don't know the previous owner's maintenance practices? Okay, so to kind of paraphrase that, that's I know what I have. I know how well I took care of my machine or my component. Why would I trust replacing that with a component that I have no knowledge of the history of? Okay, so when, as you think back through, what we've talked about up to now, if you think through the salvage procedures, the inspection procedures, and all of the testing that Cat Reman puts into place, you should feel confident that when you buy a Cat Reman component, that you're going to get a component that we are going to stand behind with a full warranty, including contingent damage, that you should expect same as new performance, durability, reliability, Um, and you should be confident in that. Okay. Now, that being said, at the end of the day, it's your machine, your money, and ultimately your decision. Okay. So while I'm passionate about Cat Reman and I fully believe in the quality of the product, I respect and understand, not everybody wants an exchange component. Okay. So for that reason, the Cat dealers that are out there, they've got a wide range of repair options available to you to meet your specific need. Okay. So our Cat dealers, they offer tremendous rebuild capabilities. Okay. And I'm also a very, very big fan of dealer rebuilds and have a lot of faith in those as well. Now, if you're a customer that is adamant you want your core back, or if there's certain components that you'll consider a critical component that you always want new, okay, or as you're rebuilding something, if you want a mix of these components, so for example, I'm okay rebuilding the engine and I'll use Reman injectors, water pump, heads, whatever, but I always want to make sure that I have a new crankshaft. Okay, the dealers can rebuild your core to that need, and that's a discussion that I would really highly encourage you to walk through with the Cat dealer and understand when is Reman the right solution for you, when is dealer rebuild the right solution for you. Maybe even a yellow mark or a used component could be the right solution for you, but your dealer can help you understand that process and walk you through that decision. So it actually ties in pretty well what I'm getting ready to talk about now. So when you're getting ready to choose the right repair for you, there's really 4 questions that you're going to ask yourself. So the first one revolves around ownership. How long do you plan to own the machine? And then the next question is utilization. How much and how often do you use that machine? How many hours are you going to put on that machine? Affordability, what's your expectation with regards to price? How much money do you have available to put into that repair? And then from a turnaround time standpoint, how valuable is downtime to you and how quickly do you need that machine back up and running? Okay. So now, as you talk with your dealer and you start thinking through those questions, when is Cat Reman the right solution for you? Okay, so based off those, Cat Reman's an excellent solution for a customer who needs a component in the shortest turnaround time possible. Okay, we really try to have as much Reman inventory on the shelves available to you at all times, and you kind of think of the technician in a box logic. Okay, so the labor and the rebuilding time, we've already done that at our facilities to save you the downtime of having to do all of that yourself. Okay, then Cat Reman's also an affordable option for machines with longer ownership periods and higher utilization. So if this is your prime digger or your prime loader, you're going to put a lot of utilization in it, and it's a machine that you plan on keeping for a long period of time, Reman is a very good solution to meet those needs. So as you look at the benefits, as we talked about of Cat Reman, you're going to get the same as new performance. You're going to get the same as new warranty, the latest engineering updates, reduce repair and overhaul costs, and reduce downtime. Okay. Then from a price standpoint, Cat Reman parts, they're going to have a range they're going to fall in. So you can find them for anywhere from 45% to 85% of the cost of that equivalent new part, just depending on what type of component you're looking for. Okay. Another big kind of, and we're running toward the end here. This sometimes becomes a little bit of an elephant in the room, but how do core charges work? What is that? How does that, say, 45 to 85% of new really work for me? So I'm using a water pump as an example here. Okay, so when you go, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, when you go to buy a Reman part, you're really going to get 2 pieces of an invoice. You're going to be charge, say, well, these are example prices, right? $350 for the Reman water pump, and then you're going to also get a charge, a core charge, and we'll say that's $150. So your total invoice for that Reman water pump is going to be $500. Okay, so if you move over here, you buy the Reman water pump from the dealer for $500. You turn your core back in. The dealer does the inspection right on the spot. So our Cat dealers they're going to be factory trained. They're aware of the guidelines. They're primary visual quick core acceptance guidelines. They can tell you right on the spot, yes, you'll get credit for this. Here's how much it is, and be able to return that money to you. So at that point, the dealer returned your core deposit of $150, and then you're basically out the door with the Reman water pump at $350, or for this example, that's about 70% of the cost of new. Okay, so another couple things, you'll hear quite a bit of, well, Reman's not really an option for me because I have a failed core. Or potentially I've rebuilt a component using non-genuine Cat parts, or I don't have a genuine Cat core to turn back in. Okay, I want to emphasize to you, if you're in that scenario, please still have that discussion with your dealer. Cat Reman could still be an option for you depending on the product and the core criteria. We could still be able to offer you a partial or damaged core credit, so you could get some value back from that core. And then there are some Reman products that will accept non-genuine Cat parts back as core, or we will run promotions or special from time to time. We'll call it like a comeback to Cat, where you could turn in a competitive or non-genuine Cat core in exchange for a Cat Reman. How do I know what Reman parts are available to me? Where can I find more information? So, as I've said over and over again, the local Cat dealer, your Cat dealer is going to be your best resource to talk to you about what Cat Reman solutions can meet your needs. All right. Another place you can find additional information is by going to parts.cat.com. You can shop for Reman components there, as well as other parts, and then you can research and get more information on exactly, say, for like a transmission, what pieces are always replaced with new, what's the testing procedures, that type of stuff. You can find available in there right at parts.cat.com. So that is everything that I have for today. Again, I'd like to thank you for your time. There's one other question really quick, and I don't want to overlook it, related to does Reman offer old engines like for like an 1160 motor? Okay, so that's one. As I said, we've got over 7,000 parts available today. We'll take that one offline. That's one we'll need to get more information from you on to see what solutions we might have to line up with what you need there. But those are things, if you have the serial number of the engine or the machine, that you can take to the Cat dealer, and they can tell you exactly what's available for you into that space. So again, thank you all for your time this afternoon. Hopefully you'll take some value out of it, and you find it to be a good use of your time. As I said, we'll keep monitoring the questions. We'll go back in and look to make sure that we get answers to all of those that are out there. And there will be another one of these Cat at Home sessions next Wednesday, July 8th. What's it? Same Cat time, same Cat channel, right? So Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And that will be Scott Britton will talk to you about the Cat 903D compact wheel loader. So between now and then, I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the rest of your week. So thank you for your time.